Hey guys, welcome to your stretching workout. Okay, so we're gonna take 10 minutes today and do some really easy stretching, gentle stretching. We're gonna start seated. So join me down here on the floor and we're gonna sit with our legs crossed. Walk those heels in towards your butt. Sit up nice and tall, really elongate that spine, open up the chest. Let's take a nice big inhale while we're here. So let's lift the arms up. Inhale and then exhale it down. All right, let's keep our left hand planted on the ground. We're gonna lift our right arm up and over and just gently reach over our heads and then back down and then left arm up and over. And we're just gonna do a little side to side. Feeling a nice stretch along the side of the body, also getting a nice little twist in that spine. So just side to side. Every time you can try to get a little deeper into that stretch or not. Entirely up to you. If you want to start looking up a little bit, kind of gazing up at your fingers as they fly past your head, side to side. And let's do one more on each side, getting a little deeper. And there we go. All right, so from here we're gonna uncross our legs and come into table pose. So that's where your wrists are right below your shoulders, knees right below your hips. Belly button pulled in. We're gonna do some cat and cow breaths. You guys know this. Dip those hips, lift that head up. And if you're feeling any type of soreness from that ab workout, you're gonna feel that right here. Let's exhale, pull that belly button in towards the spine, push away from the floor. And then inhale, lift that head, drop the hips. Oh, feel those sore muscles. Feel those abs. And pull that belly button in, push away. And just follow your own breath. Lifting and lowering your head. Pulling that belly button in and letting it hang. Let's do one more nice big inhale. And then exhale it down. Okay, from here, let's turn our fingers towards our knees. So we're twisting our arms around. We're gonna do a wrist stretch. So you're gonna lean back a little bit, let those palms come up off the floor, and then come back overhead. And you're just gonna rock back and forth, letting those hips come up and back down. Really good wrist stretch. I don't really take care of our wrists that often. I don't do this very often, so it feels really good. And just go back and forth. Let's do it one more time back. Come back to center and let's turn our arms back around. Actually, come on up. Shake them out a little bit. And then bring them back down into table pose. Then we're gonna tuck our toes underneath, lift our knees up, and come into a downward facing dog. Here you can pedal your feet. You can walk the dog, as they say. Pedal those feet. Good, then lift those hips up, drive those heels down. And then bring that right foot up front in between both hands. You can just kind of nudge it up a little bit if it's not going so gracefully. Drop that back knee, untuck those toes and come up. Nice big inhale. Exhale it down. We're gonna go into a hamstring stretch from here. So you're just gonna extend that front leg, send those hips back, point those toes up and lower those hips towards the floor. And then reverse the motion and come back to that low lunge, looking up. Chest open, and then send those hips back along, lengthen out that leg, point those toes, and then again, walk your hands back up to that low lunge. Let's do that again, sending those hips back, lengthening out that leg, pointing those toes, feeling that stretch right on the back side of that front leg, walking your feet, walking your hands to the front. I'm like, which body part? And send them back. And then up, and then hold it here. Tuck those back toes, lift that back knee, and let's lift our hips up and send the right foot back. And let's go back into that downward facing dog. Pedal your feet if you want. I always like this. Really stretches out the calves. And now let's send that left foot forward. Nice high lunge and then drop that back knee, untuck those toes. Come on up, nice big inhale. And send those arms back down. And now we're gonna do that hamstring stretch on the left side. So send those hips back, Elongate that leg, point those toes up, and then walk those hands back. Low lunge, looking up, chest open, and send them back. Just keep going back and forth. Breathing, always remembering to breathe. Those hips down, shoulders back. Good. Coming forward, let's go back one more time. Send those hips forward. Plant those hands, tuck those back toes, lift that knee, looking up, nice high lunge, and then lift those hips up and bring that left foot back with the other one, and let's come back into that downward facing dog. Our neutral position, pedal those feet. Should be getting a little bit warmed up. Now we're gonna come into plank pose, and then from here you can drop your knees, and then lower all the way to the floor. And then I want you to slide your hands forward, and get your elbows right underneath your shoulders. We're gonna do Sphinx pose. Sphinx. I don't know why, that just sounded really weird when I said it. Okay, so we're gonna lift our chest up. We're gonna drive our pelvis into the floor, tucking our sacrum, and lifting up, looking up, nice and proud. Extending those legs. Everything's engaged. Feels really good in the front of the body, especially those abs that are a little sore. Take a nice big inhale and then release it a little bit. And then let's come up one more time. Inhale. And then exhale, slide those hands back so your palms are right underneath your shoulders and come back into table pose. Lift yourself up. We can actually do a nice child's pose here, so bring your feet together, knees wide, and come and sit back on your heels. Now you want to be sending your hips back and then reaching forward with your arms. So you're getting energy going in two different directions. Hips are getting sent back, arms are reaching forward, you're stretching through the elbows, through the shoulders. And relax that head all the way to the floor. And breathe. Good, let's slide our hands back in and come up into table pose. So from here, I want to do extended puppy pose. So I want you to come down onto your forearms, keep your hips up high, and let your belly just hang. Let your head come down. And just breathe right here. Letting everything relax. Let that belly hang. Release tension anywhere you feel it. And then slowly slide your right hand forward and extend that elbow. And bring your head down to the floor and feel a nice stretch in the shoulder. And then pull that arm back and send your left arm forward, extending through the elbow. Dropping your head. Release that belly, release tension. And bring it back. And again, right arm forward. Forehead down to the floor. Bring it back. Left arm forward. And slide it back. And if you want, you can do both arms forward. Right, then left, and then drop forward. Like a cute little puppy stretching out his back. And breathe into it. Relax your head. Let that rest on the floor. And if you want, bring those hands back in. Let's come back up to table pose. And then we're going to take it to our back. So cross your ankles, shift that weight back and come into a seated position. We're going to do one last stretch as a full body stretch. So we're actually just going to extend our entire bodies. We're going to slowly roll down. Bring those hands up overhead. And I want you to reach up with your hands in one direction. Flex those feet as those heels are trying to touch the opposite wall. And then relax and come together. Tuck in your knees. Tuck your chin in. Come into a nice little bowl. And then extend out again. Reaching those arms towards one wall, those heels towards the other. And then come together in the center again. And let's do that one more time. Extending, reaching those arms like you're getting pulled in two different directions. kind of how life feels sometimes. And then bring it all together in the center. Good, and let's roll a little bit on our backs. And then let's roll enough that we can bring ourselves up to a seated position. And let's turn it around and come back to where we started. Nice seated position, our legs are crossed, shoulders are back, spine is nice and long. And let's take a nice big inhale. Exhale it out. And there you go, your 10 minutes of stretching. Thank you so much for joining me. It's such a great thing to do for your body, to just take a few moments and stretch it out. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys tomorrow.